Today I am using a full team of Rainbow Shiny Pokemon. And because I'm using Rainbow Shinies, I also thought it would be fitting to have every single Pokemon be the Rainbow Stellar Terra as well. And let me just say that when 4 of the Pokemon on your team are water types, and 2 of them are water and flying, and you have no way to defend them through terrestrialization because you're using freaking Stellar Terra as your only option, it makes things so much more difficult than you can possibly imagine. If you have an idea for a Pokemon team, be sure to comment below, and I will use it. And if you like this kind of content, feel free to subscribe. Now let's get right into the battles. Good morning, afternoon, and evening, lovely people. Today I am using Rainbow Shiny Pokemon. Consider this a teaser for what I have in store for Pride Month coming up. I'm very excited. So I'm using a bunch of Rainbow Shinies, and I have Stellar Terra on everything. Special thank you to Tunadachi for the team idea. I interpreted this as like a means for me to use like a bunch of Rainbow Shinies. Oh my goodness, my Venomoth tanked the... This is a max defense Venomoth, by the way. I have Quiver Dance and Rest on this. Really, I knew that Unpopular was going to lead off into my team, so I really didn't have much that I would want to take a fake out from this thing, considering it's really strong into my team. So my Venomoth gets taken out there by the U-turn. I was hoping that I would be able to tank that because I'm max defense. So I'm going to swap in my Espeon. In case this Infernape was Stealth Rock's lead, I wanted to deny that with my Magic Bounce. This is an Assault Vested Espeon. Even with an Assault Vest, I feel like this thing is not as tanky as it normally would be. Although I do tank the Overheat at the very least. It might have been Blaze boosted Overheat from this Infernape. So the Infernape is going to swap out. I have Psychic, but I also have Alluring Voice on this. And they swap it to Zarude, which was a great Alluring Voice. I got off like over half on that thing, which was great. But now, so that is going to force the Zarude to swap into the Rillaboom. So I was like, okay, well, I have a Psychic, what the heck? I have Psychic, Psyshock, Alluring Voice, and Shadow Ball on this set. This team, by the way, oh my gosh, this team was a nightmare to do because of just, first of all, I get off so much damage on the Rillaboom. I actually thought they would Grassy Glide, which is why I stayed in, because I don't have any switches to that. This team had a lot of problems in terms of not having any switch-ins to anything, by the way. Oh my gosh, I can't even explain how many times I got absolutely crumbled using this team. It was... Why are all my gauge teams always the worst? Anyway, so I'm gonna force the swap on the Infernape, but unfortunately Munkidori comes in. And although I guess a really big play rough chip, it's a critical hit. So, this is a Choice Scarf Azumarill. This Pokemon could not even it could outspeed a snail at the very least, but it can't even outspeed like base 100s. So, like I said, this is another Pokemon that I had like no switches into. I was hoping the Munkidori would be able to put me in range of my Salac Berry to activate, but unfortunately, even after the poison, I'm like 4 hit points off of my Salac Berry activating. I am having an absolutely nightmare time at the moment with this team in a nutshell. So, bringing in my Kingdra, I was like, this Pokemon, I had to do something in this game, right? Like, I am down like half of my team, and they still have all of their 6. I'm pretty sure at this point they were trying to like go for the 6-0 against me. So I went straight for the Outrage. This is a Dragon Dance Outrage Kingdra. This has Stellar Terra, of course. I have Liquidation, Iron Head, and Outrage. So I am able to barely tank the close combat from the Passimian. Thank goodness. I was like, if I don't get a KO in this game, it's gonna be so embarrassing. I seriously had so many terrible losses with this team. It was demoralizing, to say the least. So, in comes the Ambipom. By the way, of course, the team I'm facing is a bunch of monkey business. Fake Out takes me out, unfortunately. I assume this is like a Silk Scarf Technician Ambipom. It's so powerful into my team. So I'm going to bring back in my Azumarill. Now, I am Choice Scarf. I'm not going to outspeed this, though. But I do have Aqua Jet at the very least. And Aqua Jet is, thankfully enough, with huge power to take out the Ambipom, which is good. So, Rillaboom is going to come in next. And I thought here, well, since I'm Choice Scarf, I should actually be able to out-prioritize their Grassy Glide, which is nice. Unfortunately, I don't take out the Rillaboom, but I am able to tank the incoming Grassy Glide this turn, which is good. It means that I'm going to be able to hopefully take out the Rillaboom with this next Aqua Jet, which I am able to do, thank goodness. So Rillaboom goes down. It's now down to 2-3. And I thought here, well, this was a turn that I thought of for a long time, because I really thought about like swapping out into Gyarados' turn, anticipating that this thing might want to swap out. But if I do and they go for like a grass move, it would have been really bad. So they take me out with the Grassy Glide. It was cool that this thing had a Grassy Glide with Rillaboom. So, bringing in my last line of defense, my Gyarados. Now this, of course I had to include this on this team because this is probably the most iconic shiny, red Gyarados. This is a fully special Gyarados. Now, I thought I was optimistic at this point because I thought that as long as the Infernape didn't have a certain move, I should be able to maybe claw my way back into this game. So the Zarude goes for Swords Dance. Thankfully, I land my Fire Blast versus this. Holy smokes. And the Zarude goes down as a result of that. Thank goodness. Now, I was like, I might be able to claw my way back into this game. But unfortunately, Infernape has Endeavor. Oh no, that was really unfortunate. It was really unfortunate. I am able to take out the Infernape, but man, if that thing didn't have Infernape, it was going to be very close versus this Munkidori because I don't know if a Stellar Terra boosted Hurricane would have taken it out from this range, but I would have been able to tank the Sludge Bomb at the very least. But man, GG this team. That's the end of that first game though. I got very close despite how horrible the start was. And if you're enjoying this video, please feel free to hit the like button. And I struggled way too much with this team. So, I'm going to lead off on my Gyarados. A great lead on my part. This Pokemon was insanely threatening. And so I thought, well, I want to at least get off a Fire Blast versus it. Do a lot of damage. It might even take it out. Of course, I don't do that because I freaking miss. Amazing start to this game. So, I'm bringing in my Espeon this turn because I really wanted to deny the Sticky Webs from this Vikavolt, and they're just gonna go for the Discharge, which still does a lot of damage, and of course it also paralyzes me, so I'm having a wonderful time at the moment. So the Vikavolt is gonna swap out. I was really fearing like a Bug Buzz from that, but I thought I might be able to tank one because I'm Assault Vested, but they bring in the Crocodile on my Psychic. Now, this turn I thought, well, if this is like Choice Scarf knockoff, I'm going to bring in my Azumarill hard into this thing. I don't really necessarily mind my Choice Scarf being knocked off, but they go for the Hone Claw. So I was like, oh my gosh, this is great because they're not going to expect me to be Choice Scarf Liquidation on this. So the Liquidation is going to come out and it's going to just one-shot the Crocodile, thank goodness. So the Superior is coming out next, and this thing was a problem, a really big problem. So I'm going to swap in my Espeon. Really, I didn't have much that wanted to switch into this. Wow, how many times have I said that in this video? So they're going to go for that Contrary Leaf Storm, which is going to be a pain because they're going to get a +4 special attack after hitting my Espeon. So my Espeon is going to get taken out there. And I'm going to bring in my Venomoth now, though. This is physically defensive. I have Quiver Dance. I have Stellar Terra Blast on this as well with a Tinted Lens. It's not great, but I have Bug Buzz, and unfortunately, since I'm not offensive, I don't really do as much damage as I would have liked to the Superior. I probably would have one-shotted it, maybe if I was, but Leaf Storm is going to take me out. Now, this turn, oh my gosh, I tunnel visioned super hard. I really thought I was going to outspeed the Superior. I thought Superior was a lot slower than it is. And, yep, my Azumarill just gets one-shot by Giga Drain. And now, like, this is like just like the last battle. I'm like off to a really terrible start. But where there's a Cramorant, there's a way. So this is a really interesting Cramorant set. This is Endure with a Shellac Berry. So I'm gonna go for the Endure this turn. And I'm pretty sure this Superior was gonna go for the Giga Drain or something, which they do, which is nice. I was also hoping that I would bait out a Terra with my Venomoth, and maybe it was like Terra Blast Fire, but they are Terra Blast Grass, which is fine because I have Shellac Berry, and this is a physical Cramorant with Acrobatics. So Acrobatics is going to get the full base power, and I also have a Speed Boost, which is going to ensure that I'll outspeed the Superior. So the Acrobatics is going to come out, and that one-shot Superior. That's great. That was a great KO. That's a really problematic Pokemon as well. It would have swept through my entire team if I didn't get that KO. So the next Pokemon that comes in is Clawitzer. Now, this was a tricky turn, because I went for the Dive this turn, because I have the Dive is going to give me the Pikachu in my mouth because of this Pokemon's ability, the Gulp Missile. So I wanted to get off a paralysis on the Clawitzer and then maybe like Dragon Dance and capitalize on the para. But they bring in a Vigavolt, and that faints to the dive, which is nice. So Volcarona comes in. I'm going to go for the acrobatics. That one-shots Volcarona, which is great, but they flame body me. Oh my gosh, I was in such a good position too. I'm honestly though, looking back, I maybe shouldn't have been so adamant on wanting to get that KO versus Volcarona. I should have used that as a setup opportunity for my Kingdra. I should have went for the Endure and went for the paralysis on the Volcarona, and maybe they would have taken me out instead of going for like Quiver Dance, and then maybe I could have set up against the paralyzed Volcarona with my Dragon Dance Kingdra. So this turn, the last Pokemon was the Baxcalibur. I thought Baxcalibur would have come in on my 1 HP Cramorant and like Ice Sharded me, but they clearly don't have that. So my last line is to go for Outrage on this Clawitzer, and like I'm Stellar Terra boosted, but even after the Stellar Terra, it doesn't even take this Pokemon out. Oh my gosh, and Dragon Pulse is gonna come out and just absolutely eviscerate me. Honestly, this video is probably like evidence as to why Stellar Terra is just like, well, why you shouldn't use an entire team of Pokemon that all have Stellar Terra. The Clawitzer takes itself out with Life Orb, so it was still a 1-0 in the end. But even still, thank you all so much for watching this insane video. My name is SkyLaaa. Don't forget to smile, and I will see you all next time.